All right, let's talk about one of the biggest hurdles for any early stage founder. How in the world do you get investors to believe in you when you're just getting started? Today, we're going to break down exactly how you can use advisors strategically to build that critical credibility and lock in your first round of funding.
So, picture this. You've got this amazing, world-changing idea, but maybe the product isn't quite there yet. And revenue? Yeah, that's still on the horizon. This is that classic catch-22, right? How do you possibly convince a smart investor to write a check when you have zero hard data to back you up?
Well, here's the secret. In the very beginning, fundraising isn't really about your financial projections or your total addressable market. It all boils down to one thing: trust. See, investors are looking for signals, clues that you are a credible bet long before the numbers can prove it. And getting this right, it's the key that unlocks everything else.
And that leads us to what you could call the early stage trust gap. When all the usual metrics, revenue, users, growth, don't exist yet, investors have to find something else to measure. And you know the first place they look? Your network. I mean, put yourself in their shoes for a second. They're asking some pretty basic questions. Who already believes in this person? Who's willing to put their own reputation on the line for them? Who is giving them their most precious asset, their time, to validate this vision? The answers to those questions? That becomes the data they use to judge your potential. And this right here is where advisors become your secret weapon. But listen, we're not talking about just collecting a bunch of impressive names to slap on a pretty slide in your pitch deck. No way. We're talking about turning advisors into a strategic asset, your leverage for building that all-important trust.
And that's a really important distinction. The wrong way is just vanity. It's superficial. And you know what? Investors can see right through that stuff in a heartbeat. The right way is all about strategy. It's about building a team of genuine advocates who are actively helping you earn credibility and, crucially, open the right doors. So, let's just redefine what we mean by advisor at this stage. Think of them as a proxy for belief. That's it. An advisor's involvement sends a powerful signal that says, hey, I'm a serious person in this industry, and I believe this founder is onto something real. That's a message that cuts right through all the noise. Okay, so if advisors are this critical, how do you actually find the right ones? Well, it's definitely not about chasing the biggest, most famous names you can find. It's about building a small, focused A-team that's going to have the absolute maximum impact on your business and your fundraising. And this right here is the golden rule. Forget about the celebrity CEO or that famous VC. What you really need is fit. An advisor with deep, relevant, hands-on experience in your specific corner of the world is infinitely more valuable than a famous name who doesn't get what you do. So what does fit actually look like in practice? Well, it's someone who fills a genuine gap on your team. Maybe you're the product genius, but you have no clue how to actually sell the thing. You need a go-to-market advisor. Someone with deep, niche knowledge who has been there, done that, and scaled a business just like yours, so they can help you sidestep all those common, costly mistakes. And here's the thing that's so powerful about this. When you choose advisors to fill your own blind spots, it shows incredible maturity and self-awareness. You're basically telling investors, hey, I know my limitations, and I'm smart enough to surround myself with people who can help. That makes you coachable, which, let me tell you, is a huge green flag for any investor. So you've assembled your A-team. Awesome. But you can't just let them sit on the sidelines. The next and most important step is to get them in the game and actively turn their advice into real, tangible action. Here's a super simple framework to make that happen. 1, weave them into your company's story. 2, don't just list their names, make their contributions visible. 3, use their sharp minds to poke holes in your ideas and stress test your strategy. And 4, keep them in the loop constantly. That's how you turn them from passive advisors into passionate advocates. And let's just double-click on that point about visibility for a second. Seriously, don't just have a slide with a bunch of headshots. Tell a story. For example, our advisor, Jane, literally saved us 6 months of work. She helped us completely rework our pricing model based on her experience scaling a similar company, and that's what landed us our first big pilot customer. See? That shows you're not just name-dropping, you're actually using their wisdom. That's leverage. Oh, and this is a big one. A well-connected advisor can be your bridge to the best investors out there, but you have to earn that introduction. Asking for intros on day one, it feels transactional, it's premature. Instead, build the relationship.
Show them you're making progress, act on their feedback, and make them want to introduce you because they truly believe in what you're building. A warm intro from a true believer is worth 1,000 cold emails, I promise you. So let's bring it all home. How does all this hard work actually help you close the deal and get that funding? Well, this is the part where you get to cash in on all the credibility you've so carefully built.
You see, the right advisory board does more than just lower risk. It creates momentum. When investors see that smart, respected people are already dedicating their time and reputation to you, it creates this powerful sense of inevitability. It's a signal that this is a train that's already leaving the station, and they better get on board before it's too late. And the payoff is absolutely huge. First, it massively reduces the perceived risk for investors. Second, your advisors can pre-sell you to their network, so investors walk into that first meeting already excited. This completely shifts the power dynamic in your favor, and you know what that means? It helps you raise money on much better terms. You're no longer just asking for a check, you're offering an opportunity. I love this idea. An advisor's voice doesn't replace yours, it makes it stronger. When an investor is on the fence, an advisor with deep expertise can jump in. They can explain the opportunity in a way that turns that hesitation into genuine urgency. Their voice validates and amplifies everything you're saying, making your whole pitch that much more powerful.
So, as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this one question to really think about. Who is in your circle of trust right now? And what story are they telling the world and potential investors about you? Because whether you're actively fundraising or not, believe me, they're telling a story. Your job is to make sure it's the right one.